So in this lesson, we're going to discuss how to treat your client so special. Okay. Everyone's heard of the posh restaurants that are so exclusive that you have to be somebody to get in, basically to get a reservation. And even then, it may be, weeks or months before you can actually get in. Yet the very fact that a restaurant is so exclusive is the drawing card that keeps it booked and turning people away. They can then charge just about anything they want for their meals, and many are infamous for providing plates that would make Minnie Mouse think she was on a diet. It doesn't matter though. What matters is how special you feel just showing up to the front desk and getting in. You know you're special, and they treat you very, very special too. When you walk in the restaurant, it has that ambiance of luxury and opulence. When you sit down, there is fine linen on the table and multiple sets of dinnerware. You are served complimentary bread, still warm from the oven, with perfectly cooled butter, uh, you know, pieces of butter in ceramic crocks. The menus are custom made and elegant. The centerpiece is fresh flowers, artistically arranged for your pleasure. The people seated in the restaurant are of high class and well dressed. You know that you are seated there because you're part of that special class of people who managed to get a reservation. You're completely sold on the experience, and odds are you'll pay several hundreds of dollars just to have dinner there. That's the power of exclusivity, folks. Anything that is so hard to come by and creates an ambiance that is so special automatically appreciates in the buyer's estimation. We talked a little bit about this in the previous some of the previous lessons, but that was for mass-produced items that may be artificially manipulated into limited editions. Whereas a limited edition is a version of this strategy, this takes it one step further. You're going to make the scarcity or uniqueness of your item so obvious and the experience of ownership so special that people will fall over themselves to be the ones to have that item in their possession. So, what's the strategic plan? Okay, say you have a product that is so luxurious or outright, ostentatious that you think you might have trouble convincing people that it's something they need or want. Maybe the cost to market is beyond all the other prices of the products in your existing inventory. How can you justify that purchase when it is so obviously out of kilter with what most people expect or even need in their lives? Well, you begin by informing your customers that you have this very special product. In fact, it's so special, it's not just limited, it's downright scarce. Maybe due to the fact that it's so special and hard to produce. Only a certain number can be made or marketed at one time. After they're sold, well, you'll have to be put on a waiting list, and it may be years before you get a chance to even buy one again. Then you frame the benefits of features of this product by comparing it to other products in your lineup to show just exactly how special this baby is. Maybe it has a bigger engine, way out of proportion to anything you really need, but that's the beauty of something that's special. Maybe it's huge when compared to other products in the lineup. For instance, maybe you're selling a home with over 4,000 square feet, way more than you really need. That's what makes it special. Remember that it can't just be a manufactured limited edition, even though, that would it'd just be like a watered down version of this strategy. It's more a genuine reason why this product is so special that only a few people are going to get the opportunity and pleasure of experiencing it for themselves. And this doesn't have to just be about the product itself. Maybe there's another reason that the product has become clearly special over time. It has increased in value way out of the proportion to other similar products because of some unique feature. For instance, maybe you're selling stamps with defects on them. They're special not because they outperform other stamps, but rather because they are highly unique in the stamp world and therefore worth more. So what's the psychological trigger here? Going back to the restaurant example, this strategy holds a tremendous draw across all demographics because of the exclusivity factor. We all want to feel special and be recognized as special people. So even though going to an exclusive restaurant could never be justified for the budget conscious, it will even attract people from this segment of population sometimes. Why? Well, because the experience is so exclusive that it's seen as a once in a lifetime opportunity. And who's dumb enough to skip that sort of offer? You either take it when it comes up or you miss out on it possibly for good. It's not a contest. Most people will definitely try to scrounge up whatever resources they can just to be able to include that special event as a memory in their life. What's more, for items which have physical nature, basically a physical nature to them, like exclusive editions of cars, art, etc. You'll see people use them as investments. They know that because something is rare, it will, always be in demand. As the scarcity continues to drive up the price over time, the fact that they own one of the few remaining items means they might be able to sell it later for more money than they spent on it. Of course, that's not always the case, but many people can justify an exclusive edition of an item with this very logic. So, how do you implement this strategy effectively? Whereas some products are created to be exclusive, you can create an aura of exclusivity even for items that didn't start out that way. So, if you happen to sell used books, you might find that you have several that are out of print. Instead of making the book less valuable, the fact that it is now more exclusive gives you a way to market it so it attracts more attention. You can talk about how it is now out of print and how really rare it is as a book. You can basically talk about how the paper it's printed on and how that's indicative of its age or specialness, or even the typeset. Of course, you have to educate your buyer so that they understand why you are selling the item as a special buy. The more details you give out about what makes this product unique, the more you will start to convince the reader that this is indeed a unique buying opportunity. If you happen to know how many other similar items exist in the world, then this is definitely information you need to relay to the reader to provide proof of exclusivity. For instance, say you're selling a stamp with a defect. You know, that there were only so many of these stamps issued before that mistake was caught and corrected. Maybe you know how many people actually own a similar stamp. The thing is, you want to include some actual numbers to make it obvious why this is very exclusive and exactly how much it has appreciated over time. You can also include this strategy by targeting your collectors for the sale of the exclusive item, as well as limited editions. These are the people who are most motivated to make sure they have all the models that come out of a specific product. So even though it may be a little more than they're willing to spend, it might just complete their collection or make it ultra special. So send out the notice of your exclusive item to your diehard collectors first to see if you get the bites. Finally, if you can point out any additional features that brings your product exceptional value because it will never be created again, then you have a very exclusive item. Examples of this are books signed by dead authors. Obviously, you won't find new ones being created if the author's already dead. That means that the signed copy is much more distinguished uh, for its peer of unsigned copies because it also holds memorabilia in the form of a signature from a person of note. So remember to price your item accordingly. If you say only 6 copies exist or will ever be made, you shouldn't come up with a seventh. It destroys your reputation completely as a reputable dealer. It may seem like a great idea to create more because people are paying such exorbitant prices for the few you did sell, but the only reason they did so was because they were convinced it was completely unique and exclusive. If later new ones come off the production line, they are bound to get very angry with you and even potentially sue you for false advertising. To give the experience of having purchased something completely out of the ordinary, you want to make sure it comes in special packaging. Like a diamond ring comes in a velvet box, you want to make sure your exclusive offers come packaged in high quality materials. Many times, people who collect exclusive items won't even remove the packaging, and it's more valuable this way. So, to give them the experience of having bought something special, also remember to include special packaging. One way to imprint the degree of specialness on the experience of owning something is to combine it with a certificate of authenticity. This is done with very exclusive prints that may only be sold in very small quantities. Even Franklin Mint will send certificates that come with the package to make sure that if the owner wants to resell the product, they can prove it is truly a Franklin Mint special edition. So, how do we time this strategy? The time to bring up the actual exclusivity of a product is actually before the sale. Although that's not the only time when you want to impact the buyer with the fact that they've made a special purchase. You want to be sure to frame the offer to show exactly how special your item is and give that as a reason why the buyer shouldn't delay on their decision to buy. If they hesitate, the opportunity will be lost and they'll never have another chance to buy the same, item again. The other time to make sure the buyer knows they've bought something special is after they've received the item. It should make them feel special when they get it. Otherwise, they'll feel ripped off instead of, recognized as the smart buyer they want to be. So always seek to add special packaging, quality materials, and even certificates of authenticity when possible. They should have the experience that this is truly a product that stands out, and it's very valuable and very rare. Treating people like they feel really special is a huge part of any like real marketing strategy. The more we can make people feel like they are, super special, they're getting something that's, it's customized, it's different, it's not the normal. When we can make people feel that way, it really amps the ability for us to do a couple things. One, we can charge more for that, and this strategy, it just doesn't have to be for a physical product. It could be for a service. You could literally, create special offers, make people feel super special because they're getting something different than everyone else, and truly limit that. Don't just make it a scarcity issue. Actually limit it to a specific number of clients. So anyway, that concludes this video. We'll see you in the next lesson.